Welcome everybody to another Canadian Yoga recap video on week 4 and week 5. I almost said week 2 and week 3 because I just did a previous video on that. So welcome to week 4 and week 5 recapped on the New York Jets football season. I wanted to just let you guys know that I am in the middle of trying to revamp my channel and also give myself a little background to have a little talk when I do my sports talks. So this little picture that you see behind me for the baseball season is going to be added as part of the first process of that. So let's get started on talking about the week 4 game that happened against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I happened to meet up with a fellow YouTuber by the name of Boone Steele. Shout out to Boone Steele for having me over and watching the game together. So we happened to meet together with a group of friends, and we actually watched the game, the Jets versus the Steelers, and my God, it was a bloodbath. It was a mud fest. It was a mud fest of god awful plays and god awful defense. But there were some shining lights in this game because we actually came out the victors in this game against the Steelers. And but it was a mud fest of a game. It was terrible to watch this game because both teams played horribly in this game. And I gotta give shout out to Boone Steele for his efforts because he's a dedicated Steelers fan, and I'm really trying to keep up with his dedication. So here's my dedication to the Jets. My God, it was an awful game. We played like it was a good win. It was a win. A win is a win, but it was horrible to see the Jets play like this because we were really going through the motions and struggling to find our way. But eventually we got the win. The first point that we scored was a field goal. A field goal. Instead of going a touchdown, we scored a field goal. Okay, we put three points on the board, and that's great. That's great. Get some points on the board. But I don't want to see a field goal. I want to see a touchdown. I want to see a touchdown, and more touchdowns. And we, Zach Wilson played in this game. He did pretty well. He wasn't too bad. He was 18 of 36. It's about half and half. It's not too bad. He had 252 yards, 1 touchdown, but God, he did 2 interceptions. He threw 2 interceptions in this game, and it was tough to see that. See him score two interceptions. He's still learning the system. He's still learning how to be a quarterback in the NFL, and that's not easy. Our running back Berrios scored 1 touchdown and one. He did pretty well. Bryce Hall had 17 carries, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. He did pretty well. Carter had 9 carries, 15 yards. Zach Wilson carried the ball twice and did 15 yards. Eli Moore said 1 carry, 2 yards. It was kind of tough to see a rushing wasn't doing too well because we have to rely on the run too. When we can't really get things done with the passing, we have to rely on the run also. But our passing was pretty good. C. Davis had 5 receptions, 74 yards. Eli Moore had 3 receptions, 53 yards. Conklin had 3 receptions, 52 yards. Garrett Wilson, 2 receptions, 41 yards. So we did pretty well. And there was even a touchdown pass. That was a pretty cool build, I would say. I've seen it before in the Super Bowl when the Eagles did it against Tom Brady and the Patriots. It's the same replay. Trick play that the running back has to throw it to the quarterback at a touchdown, and we were able to get a touchdown in the 4th quarter, and that was in the 2nd quarter actually. when we were actually able to get a lead over the Steelers, and so that was great. It was good to see that we were actually trying to get our offense clicking and stuff, and it was a wonderful thing to see. Um, so we scored a touchdown in the second quarter. We were up 10-6 in the second quarter. But in the third quarter now is where everything just collapsed. Everything collapsed. The Steelers made a comeback in the third quarter. They were up 13-10. They were up 20, 20 to 13. That's 20 to 10. And they were able to get a comeback, and it looked like they were actually going to win the game because we couldn't score a touchdown to save our lives in the third quarter. We couldn't do anything in the third quarter. The reason why I am being this way as a Jets fan is because the reason why I'm critiquing the Jets is because every season we cannot seem to close out games. We can't. I knew this. I knew it would happen. If we lost to the Steelers, it's because we can't close out games. We can't get thirds downs. We are just terrible. We're terrible at that. We suck at that. We're terrible. And that's one of the things we have to realize as Jets fans. We have to be realistic. We have to be realistic about our approach, the way we play our football games. We can't be we can't get our proud and high and mighty and all that stuff because when we start winning games and losing games, because as an organization, we have to take a look at ourselves as an organization and see, well, what can we do to help our team improve? And one thing I saw is that the Jets grinded and grinded through the game. They grinded to find their way. Eventually, in the fourth quarter, we were able to get 14 points in the fourth quarter. We got 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And it was tough to see that in that game against the Steelers on October 2nd. And I'll be honest, it was tough. It was hard. It was hard because it was like an emotional roller coaster. I was going through an emotional roller coaster, seeing these ups and downs and these struggles and these mistakes, all these things happening in this game. So that's enough about that. It's good that we won in week 4. It's good that we were able to win against the Steelers. So I'll say props to Ruin Steel for allowing us to be able to see the game and see it together, because that was a nightmare to see. Onward to our current situation, our current week 5 right now. Onward to week 5. Now, a lot of people are speculative about us winning against the Miami Dolphins in week 5. But the thing is, the Miami Dolphins don't have the 2 best running backs. Not running backs, the 2 best wide receivers. They don't have Tyreek Hill, and they don't have, I forget the name, they're getting the name of the other. They don't have Tyreek Hill in this game. Actually, they didn't have Tyreek Hill in this game. They didn't have the other weapon in this game. So we played the Dolphins in week 5, and we actually beat the Dolphins. I want us to be able to beat a fully healthy Dolphins team. They didn't have their main quarterback, Tua. I can't pronounce his last name, but they didn't have their main quarterback, Tua. And they also didn't have the other wide receiver. I'm forgetting his other name. Forgive me if I've forgotten his name. But Tua is out because of concussions and concussional protocol. And that's unfortunate because the NFL really needs to update its concussion protocol procedures. And also, I believe that the NFL needs to very much improve the armor on the players, improve the helmets, make the helmets more safer for players, especially to reduce the amount of concussions that occur in the NFL. So that definitely needs to be a thing that happens. But, we were able to come away with a win against the Miami Dolphins at home. And we scored 5 points against the Dolphins in the first quarter. In the second quarter, we scored 12 points or 14 points. We got 2 touchdowns, and that's a wonderful thing. The Dolphins were able to respond and got 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. In the third quarter, the Dolphins were able to score. We held the Dolphins to 3 points in the third quarter, and that's great. And in the fourth quarter, there was an offensive explosion, 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, making the final score 40-17 in regulation. So Zach Wilson in this game had 14 of 21 throwing yards, and there's 210 yards in this game, 0 interceptions, and that's wonderful. Bryce Hall had running back, had 18 carries, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. M. Carter, 10 carries, 21 yards, 2 touchdowns. Berrios, 1 carry, 15 yards, 1 touchdown. Zach Wilson, 4 carries, 2 yards, 1 touchdown. So, of course, all these points that we got here add up to 40. We just dominated them. Our defense, I'd say our defense was improved slightly compared to our last session. So A. Gardner had 1 sack, 3 tackles. C.J. Mosley, 7 tackles. He didn't have any sacks, but he had 7 tackles. That's good. Kate Alexander, 6 tackles. C.J. White had 6 tackles. DJ Reed, 5 tackles. So, there were some improvements, I think, that we saw in this game in week 5, and that's a wonderful thing to see. And we want to see, now we're sitting with a record of 3-2, and that's better than sitting at a record of 1-5, because I really like this. This is an improvement compared to our record last season, where we came out, I believe it was 4-6, 5-12, 4-12, or 4-13. I don't remember which one it was. This is better because we're really seeing the improvements that the team is making, and we're growing little by little. I can see the improvements. We're making strides. We're not on the level of like Buffalo, or we're not on their level yet, but we're making progress, and I like to see progress. I like to see that. So kudos to the Jets for winning week 5 against the Dolphins, and that's a wonderful thing to see. This game in the next Sunday, October 16th, we're playing the Packers. Week 6. This week 6 is already starting. So we're playing the Packers week 6, Sunday, October 16th, and then the following week on October 23rd, we're playing against the Broncos. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical. Maybe we may win this game against the Broncos, against the Packers, against Aaron Rodgers. I know he's struggling. I know the Packers are struggling. I'm kind of skeptical. I'm kind of half and half on us winning against the Packers. But we'll see how it goes winning against the Packers. The Broncos now, I'm going to think that's a maybe 2. We're going to have to see how that goes also if we win against the Broncos. Because we're going to have to see how it goes. So we'll see how things go, guys. And I'm really starting to see more progress with the team. I'm really liking the progress. And so let's see more progress and continue to just develop, just be realistic about things. That's how that's my approach towards the New York Jets. So we'll see you in the next video. Green Gang Nation, stand up. And I will see you later.